Ileana COF, and tonight I will be talking about abortion and its negative effect towards America. I will also be going into details on how abortion affects the child's right to life, and also how it affects the entire world, and not also the world, but also the mothers. Who are we to say who can live or not? Are we all not free as American citizens? The person inside this woman is just like you and I. What is abortion? Abortion is the act of terminating a pregnancy. When it comes down to abortion, you're either for it or you're against it. Young mothers all across America abort their babies at a drop of a hat. This is crazy. Why would they carry out such a terrible act? California has a legislation where you can drop your unwanted kid either at the hospital, the police department, and even the fire department. I admire these protests done at the abortion clinics. These doctors, they suck the babies out of their own mother's womb, some with their little hearts still beating in their hands. For what? Peace of mind, to regain innocence, to hide from parents, boyfriends, or friends? But why just drop off your baby and let a financially stable family take care of your mistake? We all have heard stories of babies being killed by their own mother, or a baby found in a dumpster, a baby lost for nothing. There are thousands of families that would be more than happy to take those unfortunate babies in and give them the chance they deserve, the chance that God gave the child at birth. Why do these mothers think that they can make a decision for these babies? Even if the mother doesn't have enough money to take care of the baby, there are many different government aids that will help this mother along. Abortion is an issue which nobody can agree to. It is a bad thing that should just be stopped. I am strongly against abortion. I believe that life starts at conception and that in almost all circumstances, abortion is wrong. The baby that is growing inside of you is depending on you. So when you make the choice to end that life, you are making the choice to kill another person. Someone that believes in the pro-choice theory would say that the decision is up to the mother, but the person with the pro-life theory would say that it is a crime no matter what the situation is. So I would like to ask you guys, would you consider a crime to kill a baby the day after it is born? Please raise your hand if it is a crime to kill it after it is born. Okay, thank you. Then why would it not be a crime to kill it before it is born? Dr. Mary Boyle, head of the clinical and psychology at the University of East London, said that when a woman chooses to have sex, she's taking a chance and is in control over what she is doing. Many sexually active people do not use any form of a contraceptive, and these are the main ones who have abortions. When you feel that you are responsible enough to participate in sexual activity, you should also feel that you are reasonable enough to deal with the consequences that follow. Abortions are considered the easy way out. There is no easy way out. I feel that abortions are just selfish. I could not imagine live with the guilt of me taking someone else's life, especially the life of something that I have created and that is depending on me. There are so many people out there that wish they had the chance to get pregnant. If you really feel that you're not ready to be a parent, then you could at least give the baby up for adoption and make your life, the baby's life, and the family that would be adopting your baby a lot happier. The process of an abortion is very harsh and cruel. They stick forceps in and grip the fetus by the leg, pulling it down into the birth canal. Then the doctor will grab it with his hands and pull it down slowly down so only its head is still inside. After that, he will take a sharp object and make a hole in his head near the spine. When the hole is large enough, the doctor will insert a tube to suck out the contents of the skull. When this is complete, they crush the skull and pull out the whole thing out. The heart starts beating in 18 to 25 days, but yet in most people's eyes, the baby is still not technically alive. That heart means a lot. You're alive, your heart's still beating, so you're alive. It represents a human person whom God has created in His own image and has had a plan for that baby ever since the beginning of time. According to a study done at the UCLA, it has been confirmed that there are nearly 126,000 abortions per day and almost 46 million per year throughout the world. In the United States, there are almost 3,700 abortions per day. Those in the ages group of 20 to 24 make up for 32%. Teenagers make up for 20%, and girls under 15 form 1.2% of the women undergoing abortions. 18.4% of abortions are carried out on married women, 9.4% on divorced women, and 64.4% on never married women. 1% of the abortions are due to rape, and 93% due to social reasons. For example, child is unwanted. 52% of abortions take place in the 9th week, 25% in the 10th week, 12% in the 11th and 12th week, 6% in the 13th to 15th week, and 4% between the 16th to 20th week, and finally 1% after the 20th week. Finally, another reason why I do not believe abortion should take place is because of the many risks involved for the woman undergoing the abortion. The risks involved are both medical and emotional. The medical risk when performing an abortion can be very serious and even deadly. These risks are present regardless of whether the abortion is done by a trained professional or by an inexperienced person. The emotional effects are usually experienced by women after having an abortion are also very terrible and can cause some women to be completely devastated and even lead to depression. In conclusion, I do not think that abortion can be justified for any reason. Women must learn to take responsibility for their choices. Alternatives to abortion do exist, and I believe that every child deserves a right to live, and taking that away is just something that no woman or doctor has the right to do. Just imagine someone killing you right now. You're alive, and your heart's still beating. You feel pain, so just picture this human being, and just because you can't see it face to face right now, it doesn't mean that he's not alive. He is alive. So, finally, does killing innocent babies make people more responsible for their actions? Thank you.
All right, well, you've got a couple of problems with the claim. First of all, it's not really phrased as a declarative statement, and if we did phrase it as a declarative statement, it's either going to be a value claim or a policy claim the way you develop this particular argument, and you need to stick to the factual issues. Right at the end of the argument, I think you got to something that might have been developed as a claim of fact, and that is that abortion has some negative consequence for the women involved, either their health or their psychological well-being. There are mostly arguments about the legitimacy and the ethics of abortion that come up, and those are appropriate in a value argument, but that's not what this particular assignment's about, and so you're going to run into some issues because of that. Sometimes there's evidence that's presented that's pretty extensive. You've got this whole set of information about the number of women who are having abortions, the ages of the women when they're having abortions, their marital status when they're having abortions, but you don't draw any inference from that. It's not as if we know that women who are unmarried get more abortions. Is that because what? They care less about it, or they don't have the same ethical standards as women who are married, or I just don't know why I'm getting that information, and so you need to have a reason that that information is being included. You have one set of statistics that you present that actually might be used to undermine the argument you're presenting, because you mentioned the different states or the different periods of time when abortions are performed, and you finally get to the point that says less than 1% of abortions are performed after the 20th week. But the abortion procedure that you described is the abortion procedure that occurs after the 20th week. Before that, most of the abortion procedures are not, they don't involve extracting the child and sticking a needle in its head and sucking its brains out. And so as a consequence, you've got this conflict in the information that you're presenting. If I was the respondent, that would be the first part of the argument that I would deal with. And that, of course, is a value claim also. And so that's not really where you want to go. I do think that there could be arguments made about what the impact of abortion is on the culture, that it's having some demeaning value to our society, or it's reduced our respect for life, or that there are other issues connected to abortion that have factual consequences, but you're very reliant on value claims in a number of places, and I think that that's problematic. Every time you mention a religious position, I can imagine a respondent coming back and saying, well, that assumes, of course, that people believe in this, and if there is no God, then all of a sudden it all goes to hell in a handbasket, although that would probably be contradictory, because if there's no God, there's probably no hell either. Sorry about that. I like the passion with which you speak. I think that you've got a nice personal way of expressing your point of view, but it needs to be focused on the kinds of issues that we're talking about on this issue, on this particular point. Maybe if we get into the policy argument later on, that will work for you.